Think Wisconsin is just cheese, cold lakes, and hiking trails? Think again. This state is one of the strangest and most unexplained places on the American map. The ground here holds secrets that don't fit inside any scientific theory. There are places locals refuse to visit after dark, and questions that have gone unanswered for centuries. Today, 7 secrets. From mysterious ruins to living legends, from bottomless lakes to roads that don't exist. Make sure you watch to the end. The 7th secret will change the way you look at an ordinary map. Somewhere deep in the northern forests of Wisconsin, among ancient pines and marshland, there are stone foundations, streets, wells, entire city blocks, without a single resident, without a single sound. This was a mining town that emptied out overnight. Not gradually, not because of an economic downturn. Overnight. According to historical records, one morning the residents simply walked away, leaving behind their furniture, their dishes, their personal belongings, and even open books sitting on tables. Researchers have never been able to explain what drove hundreds of people to abandon everything they owned and never return. There are no official evacuation documents, no resettlement orders, nothing. The old-timers who still live nearby say the same thing. The ground beneath the town started to hum, low, continuous, without stopping. And it's still humming. Press your ear against one of the old foundations and you'll hear it. At first glance, Lake Menominee looks completely ordinary, calm, clear, surrounded by forest. Tourists take photos on the shore. Fishermen cast their lines. Picture perfect. But this lake has never had its bottom measured. Professional divers have gone down to the maximum depth their equipment allows, and the instruments show nothing but a downward reading that never comes back. Like there's something truly bottomless opening up beneath the water. The Menominee tribe, whose name the lake carries, has passed down the same story for generations. This is not simply a body of water. It is an entrance to another space, another time, another world running parallel to ours. And here's the strangest part. Fishermen regularly report that in the early morning hours, objects appear on the surface that have no business being there. Rocks of unknown origin, fragments of wood from species no one can identify, as if something unseen is sending packages up from below. Scientists have stayed quiet on this. The locals haven't. Along the Mississippi River Valley, on Wisconsin's western border, there are burial mounds. Thousands of earthen mounds built by the ancient Hopewell culture roughly 1,500 years ago. But one of them defies all logic. Seen from above, it perfectly replicates the pattern of the constellation Orion. The 3 stars of the belt, bright Rigel, red Betelgeuse, all in their correct positions. With a precision that would be impossible to achieve without satellite imagery and modern surveying tools. Astronomers have confirmed it. The angular relationships between the mounds are accurate to fractions of a degree. This is not chance. This is not coincidence. This is intentional design. Who was able to draw a star map on the ground 1,500 years ago? How did they see something that can only be seen from the air? And the biggest question of all, who was this message meant for? Us? Or someone looking down from above? In Bayfield County, in the northern part of the state, there is a stretch of forest. From the outside, it looks completely normal. Pine trees, moss, birdsong. Tourists head in with backpacks and cameras, and come out different. That's not a metaphor. Dozens of cases have been documented in which people spent a few hours in this forest and returned with gaps in their memory. They couldn't account for what they had been doing, and in the nights that followed, they reported having identical dreams. Strangers who had never met each other described the same image. A dark corridor, a blue light at the end, the sensation of watching yourself from outside your own body. Geologists found a partial explanation. A massive deposit of magnetite sits beneath the forest floor. The magnetic field here is roughly 7 times stronger than normal. That accounts for the disorientation and the compass failures. But identical dreams in people who have never met each other? Magnetite can't explain that. On the shore of Lake Michigan, in a small port town, there is an old red brick lighthouse. It has been out of service for over 100 years. There is no electricity running to it. The mechanism has been removed. The tower has been sealed. But several times a year, especially on foggy November nights, it lights up. The Coast Guard has documented this in official written reports. Engineers have inspected the tower inside and out. No light source, no hidden wiring, no reflective surfaces. No technical explanation whatsoever. Local legend holds that the last keeper of the lighthouse never truly left his post, that he is still doing his job, warning ships away from the dangerous coastal rocks. From another dimension, another time, but still doing it. And here's the part that's impossible to dismiss. Harbor records contain sworn accounts from ship captains who saw the light, changed course, and avoided running aground on the rocks. They were saved. By what, or by whom, is a question no one around here says out loud. In the small town of Ripon, among neatly kept lawns and quiet streets, there is a boulder. Huge, gray, glacier-deposited. Wisconsin has thousands like it. Completely unremarkable to look at. But if you press your ear against it at certain times of year, it speaks. Not a creak, not a knock. It speaks. In a low, continuous, almost organic hum. Geophysicists measured it. The rock resonates at a frequency of 18.98 hertz. That's infrasound, a range the human ear barely registers consciously, but the brain picks it up just fine. At exactly this frequency, people experience unexplained fear, a strong sense of a presence nearby, and visual impressions hovering on the edge of hallucination. Indigenous peoples knew about this rock thousands of years before geophysics existed. They called it the talking grandfather, and came to it for guidance at moments of important decisions. They didn't have the word infrasound, but they knew precisely that this rock could speak to those who knew how to listen. Maybe the ancients understood something that science is only beginning to catch up to. And here we are at the end. The strangest secret in Wisconsin. In the central part of the state, there is a road. It is clearly marked on old 19th century maps, a straight dirt track heading east. On modern maps, it doesn't exist. Not on paper maps, not on satellite imagery, not in any navigation app. Just fields, just forest. But people see it, over and over, year after year. Drivers from across the state describe the same thing, a straight dirt road perfectly flat stretching to the horizon. They turn onto it, drive for a few miles, feel the gravel under their tires, and then they come out at exactly the point where they started, from the other direction. The GPS shows they never moved. The odometer shows the miles they drove. Two instruments, two completely contradictory results. Cartographers went through the archives. The road did exist. It led to a small farming settlement that disappeared in 1887. Without a trace, without documents, without a single account of where the people went. Some researchers say it quietly, almost in a whisper. The road still leads there. It's just that there is no longer here, and no longer now. 7 secrets, 7 questions without answers. Wisconsin is not just a northern state with beautiful lakes and famous cheese. It's a place where the map ends and something else begins. Something we don't quite have the right words for yet. A town that left without explanation. A lake with no bottom. A star chart drawn into the earth 1,500 years ago. A forest that erases hours from your memory. A lighthouse that shines without a flame. A rock that thinks out loud on a frequency beyond conscious reach. And a road that leads to nowhere, or somewhere we're not ready to go. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. That means you care too. And be careful on the roads of Wisconsin, especially the ones that aren't on the map.